Let's explore Google Classroom. We're going to learn about a free cloud-based platform launched by Google in 2014 and designed to simplify the management of digital classrooms. We are in a world of an ever-fast evolving educational landscape. Everywhere we look, technology has become the preferred path of how learning is delivered and managed. This is where Google Classroom comes into play. It is at the heart of the digital revolution, a powerful learning platform that has redefined virtual classroom management. As an educator, it can streamline your teaching process, and as a student, it makes it easier to navigate your coursework, and for parents or guardians, it helps you support your child's education. Google Classroom creates a centralized, user-friendly solution. It bridges the gap of traditional teaching and new, innovative digital technology. Topics that we're going to go over are about Google Classroom, what can you do with Google Classroom, how to use Google Classroom, how to create a class, pros and cons of using Google Classroom, and the equipment needed. Google Classroom is used to streamline assignments. You can boost your collaboration and create communication. It is easily accessible on the web or by a mobile app. And Classroom can be used in conjunction with tools you may already be using, like Gmail, Google Docs, and Google Calendar. Now, what are some things that you can do with Classroom? So as a teacher, you can do video meetings. You can create and manage all of your classes, assignments, and grades online without using any paper. You can add materials to your assignments, such as YouTube videos, a Google Forms survey, and other items from Google Drive. You have the ability to give direct and real-time feedback. And you can also use the class stream to post announcements and engage students in question-driven discussions. You also have the ability to invite parents and guardians to sign up for email summaries with a student's upcoming or missing work. Now, your students can track their classwork and submit assignments. They can check originality, feedback, and grades. And they also have the ability to share resources and interact in the class stream or by email. Now, your parents or guardians of your students have the ability to opt into getting an email summary of your students' work, as we mentioned before, and they can review announcements and activities. Now, how do you create a class in Google Classroom? Well, first, you're going to go to classroom.google.com. And at the top of the classes page, as you see here, click the plus for the drop-down menu. You'll see Join Class or Create Class, and you're going to choose Create Class. Now, if you don't find Create Class in this drop-down menu, that means your account only lets you join classes. You need to either switch accounts to the instructor account instead of the student account, or you need to contact your Google Workspace administrator for help. Now, to continue to create a classroom, once you create your class, this box is going to pop up where you're going to put in all your information about your class. In the first section where it says class name, obviously you're going to put your class name in. The next sections are optional, but it's good to fill in because students will want to have a little bit more information. Enter a short description, grade level, or class time in the section and enter the details. And you can add a subject by clicking the subject line and entering a name or use one from the drop-down menu. You can also enter a location for the class. Now, once you have filled in all the information you want, click Create. The arrow shows you where that is at the bottom of the page. And after you click the Create button, Classroom automatically creates a class code that you send out to your students. Now, your class will show up on your dashboard as shown above here. On the next couple of slides, we're going to go over the pros and cons of using Google Classroom. First, the pros. So some of the advantages of using Google Classroom: teachers can collaborate with teachers from other classrooms and subjects. You can get real-time feedback on the performance of your assignments and evaluations, regardless of whether you are a teacher or a student. And teachers learn from technological developments and become familiar with online communication tools. Plus, they can centralize their lesson planning in one place. Now, because I like Google Classroom, I'm going to add some more pros to this. So for teachers, streamlined teaching and enhanced impact. Time efficiency, which automates repetitive tasks like grading and resource distribution, leaving more time for lesson planning and student interaction. Engaging lessons supports multimedia and interactive content to keep students interested and involved. Insightful analytics tracks students' progress, helping educators adjust their approach to meet individual needs. For students, it's a smarter way to learn. Everything's in one place. Assignments, deadlines, and feedback are centralized, reducing confusion and stress. Teamwork is made simple. Collaborative features encourage peer learning and project-based work. Learning flexibility. Access materials anytime, anywhere, supporting self-paced study. For parents and institutions, support and structure. There's transparency. Parents can stay informed with summaries of student progress, like mentioned before. Cost savings. This reduces reliance on physical resources, making education more sustainable. And a scalable growth. Adapts to small classrooms or large school districts with ease. An overall rating by Sean Langevin, technology coordinator with the Common Sense Reviewer, gave stars to the engagement, the pedagogy, and the support of Google Classroom. In engagement, he gave 4 out of 5 stars. He said Google Classroom is as engaging as the teacher wants it to be. Teachers taking full advantage of the platform will find students are often excited to log in and see what's waiting for them. In pedagogy, he gave 5 out of 5 stars. Assignment management is a huge plus, but teachers who use Google Classroom to design interactions with and among students see the greatest return. And for support, he gave 5 out of 5 stars. Google has amassed a robust set of third-party applications that have built-in integration. The site guides teachers and students through some of the features the first time through. Aiden, a high school teacher, gave it 5 out of 5 stars. From the teacher's portal, he says you may create assignments, provide and link to reading materials, videos, and other resources. Even if you're not in the classroom, you can still provide your students with useful information. You can use Google Classroom to collect and grade their responses, as well as their coursework submissions. Using the Classroom's messaging tool, you can connect with your students both publicly and privately. Nicole, a middle school teacher, gave it 4 out of 5 stars and says this: "This has been a lifesaver in communications with parents too. When parents want to know how they can help their students better succeed, I can refer them to the resources on Google Classroom. The product itself is also very intuitive. It's easy to figure out how to teach. Students have enjoyed using Google Classroom. We've done some web searches where I'll create a template and list the links they need to visit. It's much easier for students to simply click a link rather than type it in. It allows for assignments to easily be turned in. Make sure to tell your students they must hit submit or you will not get their work. When students turn in late work, you also get an email letting you know it's been turned in, so that you know to visit Classroom and grade the assignment. It could be annoying to get all those emails, but that's not a product problem, but rather a student turning in late work problem. I've really enjoyed using it in a variety of classroom settings, like language arts, health, and debate." Now the cons. What disadvantages could there be? You still can't integrate Google Classroom with Google Calendar or any other type of calendar, so you'll have to use the apps independently. The news section is not updated automatically, and that's why students have to manually update how their assignments and submissions are progressing. Students don't have the option to share assignments with other class members unless they are the owners of the documents. This is a disadvantage for teachers as they must manually share the same material with each student. Once the tutor assigns an assignment, the student can make all the modifications he or she considers pertinent, even delete them, and this can become a real headache for the teacher. There really isn't a lot that you need to use Google Classroom. The first thing obviously is a device. So Classroom works on multiple types of devices, including desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. You need an internet connection. A stable internet connection, Classroom is a cloud-based platform. You need a Google account. You will need a valid Google account to sign in and access the Classroom. And you need login credentials. Desktops will use any modern web browser like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge. Browser for desktop, Google Classroom for a mobile app. Using a smartphone or tablet will require the Google Classroom app for an optimized experience. And in case you needed more of a reason to use Google Classroom, let's think of some impact it has created with some real stories. Google Classroom's influence is felt worldwide, with schools and institutions reporting measurable improvements. For example, a middle school in Oregon adopted the platform and saw a 20% increase in assignment completion rates within months, thanks to its organized structure and its instant feedback system. In Kenya, teachers in undeserved areas used Google Classroom's offline mode to share lessons with students who lacked consistent internet, boosting participation by 35%. These stories highlight how the platform adapts to diverse needs, delivering results that matter. And lastly, some great tips for a successful classroom. Plan and apply topics to keep things organized. Label assignments by topic to keep work organized over time for students and guardians. Without a topic, it's difficult for students to find their work. 2, post all assignments. Post all student work as assignments or quiz assignments. Students can easily find makeup work by topic or due date when it's an assignment. For students, assignments appear in the to-do section of Google Classroom. Number 3, assign due dates for everything. Assigning due dates for assignments in Google Classroom is another way to keep things organized over time. Due dates are also essential to let students and guardians know what's missing, late or upcoming. Without a due date, assignments appear chronologically under the No Due Date section. With many assignments to do, this makes it challenging for students to know what to prioritize. Students also must scroll through all assignments to view the most recent assignment work. Give students time to attach their work to a Google Classroom assignment and turn it in to receive feedback on their progress. For longer projects, setting aside time to turn in work gives students the opportunity to receive and apply feedback before the final deadline. Number 5, return the work. This tip goes hand in hand with the previous topic, setting a time to turn in. After students have turned in their work, they lose access to the file. Make it a habit to return work you have reviewed to students so they can maintain a digital record of their assignments. Just remember to hit return. And number 6, invite the parents or the guardians. Invite parents or guardians so they can support their child at home. Inviting them also allows you to email them through Google Classroom. Only teachers and administrators from the school can send these invitations.